with the last 50,000 lah. I was so desperate. I went to pray to every God. God really helped me helped me to lose everything. Which now I think about it, I'm glad that happened, because if I never lose everything, I wouldn't have seen how I would have been so blinded by money and wouldn't have stepped out of this to where I am today. I'm Raymond, I'm 33, I'm married happily with 2 kids, 1, 8 and 5. I'm the owner of Reimondo Seafood Congee, and I'm an ex-convict. When I was young, 11 years old, never met my dad. I don't have a father figure. My grandparents one day, they revealed to me that if I know that you're going to grow up to be so naughty, right, shouldn't have took you back. I said, what took me back? And that was when I found out I was given away for 30,000 as a baby when I was 3 months old. That was when I felt I was only worth 30,000. 11 years old was my first time I stole a fishing tackle kit. Someone, a kind man, said I was so young, paid for me, and I got off lightly. And I thought, wow, I can get off so easily. I got into boys' home for breaking into people's house and disposing of stolen items. I also met my current ex-girlfriend, now my wife. So she's been with me since day one of my crime spree. She's so well versed with all the prisons because she's been to almost all the prisons in Singapore visiting me. To test a man, right, is very simple. To give the man everything. I once had everything. I failed that test. To test a woman, very simple. You give the woman a man with nothing. And back then I had nothing. And my wife went through with me. Yeah. But now the most important thing is we are happily married. Everything is settled. We love one another very much. I was called to quit school, and I also, at the same time, that's when I ended myself in Geylang. Started to sell cough mixture, started to do all the vices, and eventually I got caught, went to prison. Not long after, I was called to serve NS, and I got caught for credit card, misuse of credit card, and it's under the Cheating Act. So with that, I also went to prison, and after 23 days of my release, I got caught again on a gambling cruise, breaking into a junket's room, stealing expensive and money and everything. I got off again with good lawyers by my mom. I told myself I have to change. I changed to become more shrewd and become more smarter. Then I started a car rental firm, and I bought 6 cars at one shot. 1 year after, I got 20 over cars. 2 years later, I grew even to 40 over cars. Where they rent my car, there are sets of rules that they have to follow. If they breach any of the rules, right, I can actually charge them a penalty, which can go up to 10,000. I would say accumulatively, I did make more than $1 million. Remember I told you, right, how to test a man, right? This is when my true test came. I had everything, but I failed my family. I never spent time with my wife, never spent time with my kids. That's when I realized money only got limitations. Back then, my daughter Vera is only 2 years old. She would always hide. And I cannot pay her like 20,000 or 50,000 to ask her to come and hug me. My family fell apart. I ended up to find a release. I went to the casinos. And I thought, since all the money that I've earned has no use for, I just went to squander my money. I went to gamble. I stayed in the casino for 10 over months. I buy 4D Toto. I spent thousands of dollars buying it. And I plan to, once I lose all, I will end my life. So eventually the day came. I went home so aimlessly, planning to just jump down 14th floor from my condo. I kept smoking, thinking this is the last stick and I'm going to just take the plunge. With the last stick in hand, I thought this is the time to jump already. But I thought, I need to message my mom, tell her I'm sorry. I took my phone. Then that's when I found out a message from my wife. She's pregnant. I thought to myself, initially I only have a daughter, but now another son come along the way. How can I just leave them fatherless like how I am? So I became a hawker. and I started the wonton mee store. My wonton mee store business wasn't good, and I was so desperate. I needed help. I kind of like reached out to all the bloggers, but none of them replied except one, which is my current mentor, Dr. Leslie. But with a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice, it didn't work out. So I had to close it. So one day I was delivering something to my godfather, godmother. They kind of asked me, hey, how's your hawker store going? You wanted to sell your seafood porridge, right? I said, huh? No way. But yeah, that's a good idea. And that is how it happened. And I kind of shared with my mentor. And he said, yeah, good idea. Sell it, but the seafood, right? You need to char first, add wok hei into the porridge. So that's where you get the wok hei and the umami that is cooked with the porridge. So the tea smoked salmon, we use a combination of tea dust and apple wood to smoke my salmon for an hour. But before that, also we kind of like have to brine the salmon, which take many hours. I realized no hawker center actually, no hawker stores are serving. It's because it's too much hectic, too much work. So a lot of people ask actually, wow, my porridge $6.90 very expensive. But I say, yeah, but it's seafood and I give value. Once you buy, you realize actually I don't make a lot. 2 big prawns, I give 2 scallop, which is Hokkaido scallop, and this scallop size, no hawker use, only restaurants use it. And I give clam meat, I give smoked salmon flakes, I give smoked snow surimi crab leg. So actually, if you add it up, I don't make a lot. Last time, I always rip people off from my car rental, right? Now, it's my way of giving back. I want to make money through the decent way. Yeah, so I give value to people. I used to think that hawker store needs a lot of sacrifice in time. You lose a lot of time with family. But that's where I also improvise, proper planning. It's not too hectic, where I can cope and I can strike balance to spend time in the afternoon with my family, with my kids especially. And yeah, it's balance and proper planning. There was one day there's a conversation, I asked my mom, hey, you now happier or not? I mean, my last time 做社車我是頭家，你是頭家了，特別你搞我做工嘛。So but now you see me like that, honest, upright, making righteous kind of living. My mom said, "Oh, 這個啦 happy 啦，都有錢有什麼用啊？就不要過厝，這個假啦，啊，有錢無用啊！伊講無這囝啊。I would want to thank firstly, of course, my mentor lah, my mentors, my godpa, godma, and especially my wife. Now, I've taken over a new leaf, and our family is blissful, and especially also my mom. She don't have to keep going to court, to police station, to bail me, to find lawyers for me, and I'm changed. The old Raymond has died, and now it's a newborn Raymond.
Any words for your children?
There is no words can speak louder than how I live my life. So now, because I've got no people to follow, now I only can set the best example for my children to see, for them to learn and to be the best of what they can be. I would want to tell them I love them very much, and Papa is doing the best to be the best person and a best example for you to learn, so that one day when you all grow up, you all wouldn't have to follow my footsteps. Yeah.